So, guys, here we are, MMA UK News. Obviously, myself, Stoomboy, as always. Now, as you know, I normally do the MMA UK BJJ show, but we're talking about Evolution of Combat. So there's a mix of BJJ, Muay Thai, and MMA going to be on the card that night. And obviously, we're going to be talking about MMA tonight. So as I said, Evolution of Combat 11 is going to be Saturday, 19th of February. Going to be at the usual place, Mary Hill Community Hall. Tickets for this, guys, are all sold out. So anybody that listen, people are still messaging Dan Hope for tickets. There is none available. So yeah, definitely don't be contacting Dan at all. Don't turn up on the night either because it's a council-run building, and the council in Scotland still have very strict rules when it comes to track and trace. So you will not get in the building if you do not have a ticket. Now, obviously, in regards to pay-per-views or that, if there is going to be any available, it will be updated on the Evolution of Combat page. So keep your eyes out for that. So as I say, it's going to be grappling, starting off with grappling, moving into some Muay Thai, and then obviously ending the night with obviously some MMA fights. Now, next guest is going to be on the show that night. So James King Onion Kemp. So James represents the Griphouse and Inverclyde Jiu-Jitsu. He's going to be up against Crown and Glory's Adam Thomson. So promised to be a fantastic matchup. I know. Or I've seen James through grappling, so obviously I know what his grappling's all about. I know how good a grappler he is. If he's as good a fighter as he is a grappler, then it should be a very, very interesting night for him. So listen, James, absolute pleasure to have you on, buddy. How you doing?
Mate, pleasure to be on, man.
Oh no, listen, definitely. I love you guys down there. So Inverclyde, as I said, Ian's an absolutely awesome guy. So being able to speak to you guys is absolutely brilliant.
I would say he's a decent guy as well because I'm scared of what he might do. You know what I
mean? Nah, he's absolutely sound guy. As I said, I've been able to speak to Ian a few times. So awesome guy, brilliant knowledge as well. I mean, his knowledge of the game's unbelievable.
Aye, he simplifies stuff. I had trained for a lot of years, and it was as if I didn't understand anything, and as soon as I paired up with Ian, he somehow just made it like simple, you know, put it into wee steps, and I'm like, is that how that works? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, he's definitely awesome guy, and as it's an awesome team you guys have got down there as well. As I say, we got to see a little bit of a glimpse of it, obviously post lockdown when obviously you guys were going out competing, obviously tail end of last year.
Yeah, man. Some serious killers in there, man. Even like white belts, like, you know, you're walking in and you've got your purple belt on there and you're like that, and you get swept and you've got a kid on you stood in a banana skin or something. You're like, there's some really, really good guys coming through.
Yeah. I love it as well when they sweep you and you're like, then you say to them, that was all right. And they're like, did I do it right? And you're like, well, it was okay.
I'm kidding on. I was looking at the clock and that. But yeah, there's some really good guys coming through, man.
It's brilliant for Scottish Jiu-Jitsu. I mean, we obviously we're doing the Euros training camp, so we're getting to see. We had one at Marcus Nardini's last week. We had the Griphouse just on Sunday. We got higher level this Sunday, and see the level of the guys. I mean, we've got guys from white belt all the way up to black belt that came to it, and just seeing the level of guys, even the white belts rolling, as you say, with blues and purple belts and holding their own, and like the purple belts rolling with like the browns and blacks and doing the same thing. So it's awesome to see. Scottish Jiu-Jitsu is definitely fucking
it's
high level
now. And then you've got guys winning the Worlds. John Nick won the Worlds at Masters. Shea won blue and purple, I believe.
Blue and purple, yeah. Blue belt, I think it was blue belt.
Blue and purple. So it's a good. And then you've got like Shawnee and all that. So you got a good leveler. Yeah. Really good level.
Yeah. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. As I said, Scotland, we're definitely in a brilliant position. I'd say we're going to go, a lot of guys going out representing for the Euros. So hopefully come back with a few medals from that. And then guys are talking about doing Worlds and stuff like that, which, I mean, whenever you went to the Worlds, there was only ever one, maybe two people tops. Whereas now you're talking about fucking half a dozen, 10 people and stuff like that, talking about going to the Worlds already.
We've got a wee travelling club down here. Like, it's just boys that go to almost every tournament, and every tournament there's medals. Every tournament, you know, it's good to see. And Ian, I think he's got his black now, and I think his knee and all that's better. He'd issues with his knee, and he's looking to compete. So he's introducing more competition style training, which again is just, elevating guys.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant to see. As I said, definitely interesting to see what you guys are going to do this year as well. So, and then what about you? Obviously, training wise, then how's everything going for this the MMA fight then?
Good. So I'd done a lot of training with Ian over the years, and then obviously Reese trains with Inverclyde in the grip. So I started getting up the grip to get more MMA, like kind of more specific MMA stuff, more partners my same weight, because I was one of the kind of heavier guys here.
Yeah.
The guys took us in, no bother. I've got some really great partners up there, putting me through my paces. Fridge and Jeff and Jack and that, and great knowledge getting passed on from Guy and Dean and all that. Everybody like that. I do a lot of training with wee Reese, and he's picking up a lot of stuff from Guy, so I'm picking it up. It's just great that everybody's there to help you, you know what I mean? It's brilliant.
Yeah. And the thing as well, I mean, obviously Reese being on Evolution of Combat as well, you guys come with a massive support. So there's always...
I actually couldn't get enough tickets, man. I was one of the people bugging Dan, like, Dad, how many tickets could I get? He's like, 30. I was thinking I could really do 100.
But we see that with Reese. I mean, whenever Reese comes, I mean, everybody comes to see Reese. Do you know what I mean? So
small town, man, small town mentality.
Yeah.
Get behind the fighters.
So obviously you'll be the same. I mean, I'm more than likely sure that you're going to come with a massive amount of people as well, which
as many as I can get ticket wise.
Yeah. And then what about one thing I want to ask, King Onion? Tell us, King Onion, where did that come from?
I make everybody cry.
Is that what it is?
Fucking solid. Nah, I'm joking. It's intimidating, man. Think on all the names you've got. You've got like the Axe Murderer, the Body Snatcher, the King Onion, mate. That's scary shit. You don't want to fuck with that.
Yeah.
Nah, mate, I used to be a wee dick. That's what it is.
Right.
I used to be horrible to people at parties. So people used to say I was rotten to the core, like an onion.
Yeah.
So but I made it my own. I'm a nice guy now, and I've just turned it round.
Nice. And then what about Evolution of Combat then, 11? So how did you find out you were going to be on it?
So I'd been training at a grip for basically since after lockdown. And although I wanted a fight, I didn't know if I was ready and whatever. So started taking it a bit more serious, getting some private lessons with Dean, and I kind of threw my name in the hat for a competition or a tournament, before Christmas.
Yeah.
He couldn't get me matched. And then he says, I'll maybe get you matched just after. So my intention was to train in that over Christmas and keep my weight down. But you know how that goes, man. Boxers are celebrations and that. But I went back offshore, kept my weight down, and I was supposed to be matched at 72, I think. So I'd cut a lot of weight.
Yeah.
And that kind of fell through. So I'd actually thought that it was cancelled. So I had almost taken my foot off the gas, started eating again. And then Dean said about 3 days later, oh no, I got you matched now. So it was like, hey, go back to starving again.
Yeah.
A glass of fresh air for my lunch.
And Dean as well, obviously you mentioned Dean. Dean's a self-proclaimed best dressed guy in martial arts in Scotland. Do you agree with that?
I need to fight him for that title, to be fair. Pretty dapper, man. Look at fucking bucket hat. Look cool as fuck. Nah,
yeah. And then one thing I always do, look on people's Facebook, right? So I don't always, because some people you speak to don't really have anything on Facebook picture-wise or not any funny pictures of that. Right. So, but some people do. And James, you've not let me down. So,
mate, I'm cringing already because I know it's going to be bad. You know what I mean?
But let me just share this. So what we do is we look at something and say, right, just to get more explanation on it. Okay, it's not that bad, but a lot of these pictures are the same. So tell us about that, James.
Do you know what? The funny thing is, that's actually...
That's one of your team pictures, mate. That's one of your team ones. That's one of the ones.
see, to be fair, some of my pictures get taken down. That was at the UFC in London when Dan Hardy get knocked out off, what do you call him?
Carlos Condit.
Carlos Condit with the left hook. That was then.
Yeah.
Young and immature. And know what happened at that, right? We were staying, me and my pal had thought we get this great deal. So we were staying in the Hilton, and it turns out it was fucking miles away. So we had to get about 8 trains to the O2. Yeah. And I had worn my good clothes that I was going out with. And I had bought a hot dog, and he says, mate, you're going to fuck us. And I pressed the ketchup, it shot on me, right? So obviously, as fucked. So I bought a UFC t-shirt and tried to get into a fancy nightclub in London, man, and I get laughed away from the door.
But quite a few, to be fair, right? I'd say this is probably one of the tame pictures. There's obviously a few that we couldn't put on. So
I imagine so.
But most of them, you're in it. You're half naked and stuff like that, just kicking about. Half naked. I think it was one where you're in a dress. You swapped clothes with somebody and you were in a dress.
That used to be quite the thing that I did.
But you know, it's brilliant to look back.
That's no makeup, that's a black guy. That's no makeup. Saucy boy.
But it's brilliant to look back, pictures like that. I mean, looking back and just memories, do you know what I mean? They're absolutely brilliant to see. So,
but if it wasn't for the pictures, there wouldn't be memories, because, you know, those weekends were gone.
Definitely. And then, what about you then? So, obviously, the 2022, we were talking earlier saying that 2022 is going to be the first full year that we've had for 2 years, since 2019. So what's your plans? Obviously your main objective is next Saturday.
I'm sober these days, so I don't really take any time off training, so I really just want a busy year, whatever it is, whether it's jiu-jitsu, MMA, whatever. I just want a busy year, because time's getting away from me, man. I'm the wrong side of 30. Well, I'm only 33, but my body feels as if I'm about 50, man.
So hopefully a busy year. And again, I mean, you do grappling comps, obviously MMA now. Or not now, but obviously MMA in the mix as well. So you're just willing to get in there and do whatever's in front of you.
Yeah, man. Every time I'm home from offshore, I want to be doing something.
Yeah. Now, listen, we're buzzing to see what you're going to do. I'd say next Saturday, they're absolutely buzzing to see you coming into the Evolution of Combat cage next Saturday. So it's going to be absolutely brilliant.
Thanks
and obviously looking to see your people as well, man. Your people always come out, so it's always brilliant. Whenever I go in, they're always like, they're always talking about Reese, or anybody that comes in with like the families and stuff. Like the Clancy's are funny, because Sean Clancy brings a whole fucking army with them as well. Do you know what I mean? So when they come in, obviously you've got all the friends and the uncles and the aunties and all that, and they're all saying, "Oh, I told you he was going to do that. I told you." So it's going to be brilliant to see your people as well. I'd say you guys definitely represent, make loads of noise as per usual, as normal.
They're a loud bunch, even. You know what I mean?
And then final thing for you then, anybody you want to shout out to? So obviously friends, family members, teammates, things like that.
My wife for letting me train. I need to say that because she's listening. Nah, kidding on. But seriously, I'm away a lot working, so when I come home, she's pretty sound, man, because I train a lot. Ian is like one of my best pals, as well as my coach. Reese, Dean, Josh, all the boys at Inverclyde, and the boys up at the Grip. And a special shout out for the boys at the Grip, Fridge, Jeff, and me, Jack, because we're always paired up because we're similar in weight. And Cammy, my strength and conditioning coach, and all the boys at the wrestling team as well. Definitely.
And anybody's missed out, you guys know who you are. As I say, you definitely.
Do you know what it is? I'm on the spot, man. I wish I'd known. I'd have wrote a thank you speech. But,
listen, keep that thank you speech for next Saturday. Obviously, we got a chat next Saturday.
I hope so, man. If not, I'll write a commiseration spech and whatever. You know what I mean?
Listen, it's been a pleasure talking to you, James.
Thanks very much for your time, mate.
No, listen, as I say, I'm buzzing to see you guys coming up next Saturday. So, and obviously seeing what you're going to bring. As I said, I love it when anybody in Scotland comes and represents. So obviously, when you're coming, as I said, I'm definitely looking forward to it. So there we go, guys. James Kemp, Inverclyde, BJJ, and the Griphouse going to be up against Adam Thomson of Crowning Glory. This is, I believe, a catchweight, 75 kilo catchweight MMA bout. So, so yes, make sure you're here to watch this one. This one's going to be interesting. As I said, I've seen James grappling, so I know what kind of grappler he is. So as I said earlier, if his MMA's as good as he's grappling, we're going to see James with his hand raised next Saturday. So James, listen, a pleasure again, buddy. Enjoy the rest of your night, and I'll see you next week. All right.
Thanks very much.
Take it easy.